Oh man, you still there? I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Froze.
man. The intro is playing.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know you was gonna froze.
Well, everybody else can hear you.
Are we live?
Yeah.
They bring the laughter, bring the tales. A podcast segment that never ever fails. He, the host with charm and grace, leads the conversations at a steady pace.
Okay. Well,
Mike brings the humor.
don't know if
making us
anyone
smile
out there
with
can
jokes and stories
hear
that
me.
go that
Everybody can hear you.
And then there's just the wise and thoughtful voice, shares insights that make us rejoice. The deep thinker with unique perspective expands our minds with thoughts that are so reflective. Last but not least, there's Billy DC, captivates us with stories that he knows the streets. Yeah, together they create a harmonious blend.
We got a special guest that just came into the corner. We'll go ahead and bring it on with man. Hurry up. We'll bring it in right now. Y'all know I haven't really met him.
Yeah, stop hating. Hey, stop hating. Stop hating. Stop hating. Stop hating.
What's up, what? What's going on?
Hey, yo, let me get a time check real quick. You hear me loud?
Loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. Look like he official. So, welcome to the corner, Al. Welcome to the corner. It's good to have you on.
What's up?
Man, what's up, bro?
Brother, how you been?
So tune into the corner, let your mind explore. Keep Big Mike just definitely DC for sure.
No doubt.
Their
So,
voices will
my
guide
name
you
is
through topics far
Al
and
Price
wide in
on
the corner. Knowledge and
Hey,
entertainment
you the blue
provide.
So we go ahead and bring him in. Cheers. I'm about to cheers to my man. What up, Nick Jackson?
Hey, let me hit you back, Nate.
What the world? I'm gonna be on.
Here we go. Here we go.
You tell me, what's up?
Hey, you know, hey, Philly all day, baby. Philly all day. Oh my God. Listen.
Yeah, we got another guest. We got another guest in the building, man. So we'll bring him right here. He should be on there, but he ain't. But we'll bring him right in. Y'all know him as Dale. We call him Landale or Big Dale or Big Brown. What's up, big homie? What's good?
He ain't no damn guest. He ain't no.
Man, where you at looking fresh? Where you at?
What you in Marshall? You in Marshall? Hey, look at that. Look at that.
How the
What up? What up? Put the glasses on. Ugh. What up? What up?
It's time!
Can I get a comm check?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, perfect, perfect. What up? What up? Why you in such a PP mood right now?
Really? You gonna ask me that on the air? Really?
Uh-huh.
You gonna ask me why?
Yeah.
One, I told you
Here we
about
go.
your freaking intro. That joint sucks.
The corner?
No one. I don't understand why Michael Buffer's got to always be hit every time we start. It sucks.
Because you don't watch UFC, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to you.
I heard about. I mean, I know Michael Buffer, but I don't have to watch UFC to know.
Y'all
that
put it in the
that's-
chat. What y'all think
that
about
is
Michael
like,
Buffer?
Michael Buffer is connected to UFC fighting, not podcasting.
I'll give you that.
Anyway,
I guess I'll give you that. I guess.
you know what I mean?
good point.
I don't know. I'm just,
You're right.
I'm
but you're
being an
hater.
old fart. I'm being
Yeah.
an old fart.
You know
Pay me
what?
no mind.
As I've known you for a long time, your patience is wearing thin as your age goes up. As age, it's like this.
Oh, really?
Patience up,
Okay. All right,
patience
all right,
down,
I
age
received
up.
that. I received that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
but we're working on it.
let's get into it. Hey, so good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday with your family and friends. As you know, this is NFL Sunday. There's a bunch of games on the slate. We'll talk about that in a minute. But today is the corner. So I know if you're wondering, this is the beginning of November. We did an extra show in October, so we pushed the corner to this date. So just real quick, as I said before and many times in the past, the corner is an opportunity for you to jump on if you want. Hey, don't be shy, man. Like, you guys get on the comments all the time. It's pretty easy. We'll send you some information where you can get on live, do your 30-second to 60-second spiel on whatever you want to talk about, cook whoever you want to talk about, and then you'll jump off, and then we'll go to the next caller or whatever. So looking forward to hearing y'all and seeing y'all live and on camera.
So I was gonna set up the disclaimer. I forgot to do it, but so y'all know, anything that comes from unpopular celebrities is all unofficial. None of the conversations from us or the guests represent the DOD or the armed forces as a whole.
Yes, that's very important. Very, very,
Say
very,
yes.
very important.
Yeah.
So shout out to all those last night, man. We did an impromptu show last night to kind of test some equipment. We had quite a few people on last night talking about some relationship stuff, which was really interesting. They dropped a lot of bombs last night. Special shout out to Faith Donovan. Is it Amber Nicole, correct?
I can't remember her last name. Amber, though.
I think it's like Amber Nicole. Hopefully I got that correctly.
Yeah.
And then some of the fellas last night, Freddie Kincaid showed up, Russell and whatnot. So shout out to them, man.
It was Royster, Dunn, Ford, Charles Davis. Thank y'all for showing up, showing out.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What's up
So
with
real
your
quick,
hat?
what you been up to, man? Tell us what you've been up to real quick.
So I'll tell you what I haven't been up to, watching football or basketball lately. Haven't been doing that. Just finished school, so done my class. Thank goodness. So see what's next. Just working on the podcast now. One thing at a time. Just trying to get better. Doing different things. I'm gonna show up more. Y'all hilarious. Appreciate it, Royster. Appreciate that. Yo, love. If you want to do us a favor, go on YouTube. Find us at Unpopular Celebrities. Hit us with the like.
Yes.
Subscribe if you will. It doesn't cost you anything, but helps us out a ton.
Yes.
To get our content up there a little bit more.
Word.
Sure. But appreciate you, big homie. I'm sure we're gonna have some funny shit today. Oops.
That's at the same time. All right.
And we'll see what happens with the show as we move forward. But if you got something you want to add, hey, we're wide open.
Yes. I got a couple of things on the ticket that I'd like to get into real quick, if you don't mind, good kind sir.
Yeah, Davis, I don't really celebrate by showing my diplomas and stuff like that. Maybe for the live show, I'll do it. Once I get it in like January, February, whatever it is. But yeah,
Shoot, that's a topic in itself. Shoot.
Philly, what's up with you?
Oh man, you know me. I'm just shining. I got my special hat on. I love this hat, man. You asked me what's up with the hat.
Yeah, the Elmer.
Man, I bought this hat in Germany, man. I'm a polo guy, so this polo by Ralph Lauren. I love this freaking hat, man. It's got the little print and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We doing a fit check. So I got my polo Ralph Lauren hat. That's because I got my headphones on, you freaking hater.
Right. Okay.
Outside of that, it's pretty warm. It makes me feel special. If you remember, this is the same hat I had on when you came over in Tucson with your lovely bride. We got drunk. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting there doing karaoke with my pup.
Who's we?
You and me, fool.
I don't drink.
Your bride and my wife.
I didn't drink.
Yo, yeah, you didn't. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, talking about we got drunk.
Mr. Ned Flanders.
You
straight edge.
You should have got arrested that night. They should have called the cops on you. That's what they
You
should
know I
have
don't
done.
drink, Chief. You know I don't drink, Chief.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
You
Hey, put
freaking
it in the
hater.
comments, y'all think alcohol is too expensive. That's why I don't drink. Costs too much money. Water's free.
And so, as quickly continuing, like I love this hat. Then I got my MCM shades on. You know what I'm
Who?
saying? It makes me feel special. So, quick fun fact: I wear this stuff on the corner because you're like on the street corner. So I wear something extravagant to kind of like make me feel good. So anyway, I love my shirt. Everybody give me comments on this. Love Heal Purpose. You know
the
what I'm
frick
saying?
is
Shout
that?
out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ up in the sky. You know, was always looking out for me and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's looking out for you.
Not
Happy
when you
Sunday.
drink. I guess it is cheaper when you drink at home, but it's
That's
still
right.
expensive.
Yeah,
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Water's 50 cents, maybe $1 now, but
Yeah.
can't do it.
But outside of that, just came back from Wright Patterson for a conference out there. Met some of our fans out there. That was pretty cool.
You went to
And
what
then,
conference? Wait, I missed.
Seeing Leader Conference
Oh, my bad.
in Wright Pat. And then I'm heading out to DC for a turn and burn next week, which will bring me to my first topic. But I see Faith Donovan is in the building again. Alcohol is not too expensive if you can pay dollars for some kicks. You can pay dollars for
Wait. I guess
Yo,
I'll have
like,
a big comment for that.
does Faith walk? How does Faith wake up in the morning and at night she comes up with this stuff? Like, how does she do it? Like, I
Pete
just
that
wanna know.
Drake and those
And
squares.
square dollars. Okay,
Square dollars.
yeah.
Charles, what the hell is square dollars? I'm from Modesto. Y'all gonna have to if y'all using East Coast slang, down south slang, like y'all gonna have to give me hip. I'm from Cali, man. I don't know what squares is. The hat deserves a bottle too, Chief. Why does that hat deserve a bottle? The hat deserves
Yeah. Hey, it's funny because I was drinking a bottle. Well, not out the bottle, but you know, I was pretty lit.
squares are
If I can
cigarettes.
find a
G.
picture,
My
I'll
bad.
put it up. But anyway.
Oh, okay. So Pete drinking in those squares. Got it. That sounds like some old uncle stuff right there. Uncle Charles in the building. Uncle Davis in the building.
Hey,
In
so
the
I'm
South
curious.
squares of
Like,
cigarettes. All right, thanks.
I'm curious for folks out there who do drink, unlike Pete, which is not a dig on him. That's his choice. But for folks who do partake every once in a while, what's your favorite drink? I'll go first. I'll give you my top 3 picks. Well, not top 3. I'll just say all 3. So old fashioned. If you ask me which whiskey to use, I don't know. It's just old fashioned. Number 2, Moscow Mule. Number 3, a nice crisp mojito. Those are my
Is
3. So put
Moscow
your 3 drinks
Mule
down there.
its own drink, or is that a combination to make one drink?
It's a combination. It's like
Okay.
vodka and ginger beer and lime
Ginger
or
beer?
ginger ale. You know,
Oh,
Mhm.
ginger ale.
Yeah,
Ginger
but
ale.
ginger beer is what they use to put in it to give it that kick. Yes.
Hey, Royster. Oh, Crown and Sprite. Oh, what happened to Crown and
Crown
Coke?
and Sprite. All
I
right,
thought Crown and Coke is the thing.
yeah.
I thought it was Crown and Coke. Crown and
Uh,
Coke.
Yeah, some people use
Or is that
Crown and Coke.
Hennessy and Coke?
Yeah, more likely Hennessy and Coke. Hennessy is too tough for me, man. That's rough. That's like that'll put you in the dang gutter, man. For Hennessy. Hennessy to me is like the modern day muscatel, man. It's not that expensive.
Look
It'll
at
put you in
everybody with the
gutter.
old fashioned.
Yeah,
Patron
old-fashioned,
pineapple
baby.
on ice.
Old-fashioned.
What's a smoked old fashioned?
Oh, yes. Extra points. Who said that?
Faith.
All right, extra points for that. When I was in Wright Pat, I love doing the trip there. You know why? There's this restaurant. I wish I could remember what it was. But every time I go there, they serve a smoked old fashioned. It comes out in a bottle, clear bottle,
Mhm.
and it's a bunch of smoke in there. I don't know how they do it with the old fashioned elixir. And so what they do is they tell you to shake it up a lot. And then when you pour it, the smoke comes out with the elixir. Oh, it's phenomenal.
It's just the ambiance. It don't make it taste
It
different.
tastes it tastes
Oh.
different. Oh, it's like premium. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I want one now. I don't even drink.
Another old fashioned.
Yeah.
What the world?
Tell you, old fashioned,
Yeah,
man, it's
that-
fire.
That old fashioned is too. Royster says too smoky. The old-fashioned
I guess it's personal preference. I
Charles said,
guess,
Philly. Hey, go ahead. I'll wait for that to come up.
Hey, you
so
know
can
what?
read that.
Oh yeah. So funny story. Real quick. Funny story. Let me make sure Wendy's not around.
Oh, it is
Well, it don't
Amber
matter.
Nicole.
I wasn't married at the time.
What up,
But
Amber?
I had this girl I was going
Vodka
out with in
lemonade, what is it?
Philadelphia. I was about maybe 17, 18 years old. And she invited me to her house. And I never drank before, but she's obviously drank before. And we drank a 40 of St. Ides. Bruh, that is the worst. I've never felt that bad before ever in my life. I was throwing up all over the place. I don't even remember what happened that night. I was just, all I woke up is on the couch.
So you were drinking at
in my drawers.
18?
Just,
You were
it was
drinking at
Philadelphia,
18?
man. It was in Philadelphia, bro. You hater.
Get the cops. Call the cops. We got an underage drinker. Get him. Call the cops.
Hey man, yeah, man. Hey, shout out to Royster, man. I had to make sure.
Dirtbag.
I wasn't married at the time. That was before I met Wendy, but let's just say, that skit, that Peace and Friday when Chris Tucker took that hit and he was in the chicken coop. That's how I felt. I was like, this,
Oh,
bro. I woke
God.
up in the morning like
Oh,
this.
some
Like, what
old
the heck
English?
is going on? Huh?
Off
It
Old
was
English?
St. Ides, man.
What's St. Ides?
You don't know St. Ides, Wu-Tang? You don't know how dry I am. St. Ides, man. Oh, I forgot you ain't from the East Coast, man.
What's St. Ides?
St. Ides is malt liquor. It's the 40. Back in the day when he had that joint 40 ounce, just like OD.
I know
But
the
this
Mad
was
Dog.
St. Ides. You had all the hip hop stars doing commercials and stuff for it. I wish I can find it and post it on here. But man, Wu-Tang did one, man. Everybody was doing St. Ides, man. If you were in the hood, you were drinking on St. Ides.
Nicky said he too young. I know the Mad Dog 4040. Y'all didn't do that?
Yeah, that and Colt 45,
Oh, cool.
Colt
I thought that was a
45
gun.
works every time.
I thought that was a gun. Okay.
You know what? Matter of fact, I don't know if they still doing Colt 45 commercials, man, but I would love to be sponsored by them. I think I would do pretty good.
As
Colt
an
45.
alcohol sponsor?
Yeah, Colt 45. It works every time.
Oh, shit. It is. I'm sorry, Charles. He said, this is how much I don't drink. I called it 40-40. It's 2020. Y'all. My bad. My bad. Amber said you must have been drinking that off-brand. That 40-40. What y'all know about that 40-40?
All right. Well, let's we
Get the show
digress. Man.
started,
Let's move on. All right. So first topic. As you know, this is only but 2 days before arguably the biggest election of all time. Definitely in our lifetime. And there's a lot of craziness that may go on. So if you didn't know, if you've been on another planet, you have Vice President Kamala Harris, versus former President Donald J. Trump. All of the drama that has preceded us months past will finally come to the forefront on Tuesday when everyone will cast their ballots. Obviously, there's millions of people who's voted early already, but soon the final folks will vote, and we will have a new president of the United States. But hold on. Pause. This president, whoever it will be dealing with a lot of issues, not only domestically, but on the world stage. There's a lot at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. Curious, a couple of questions. One, Do you dare say who you voted for in the audience? If you have, if you dare say it, put it in the comments. 2, whoever you voted for, put down one thing, one reason why you voted for them. And then 3, where will you be on Tuesday during the final counts of the vote? Will you be at the crib? Will you be at the club,
At the
bar,
club is crazy.
and the bomb shelter, you know,
Bomb
driving
shelter.
to the hills, wherever? Tell us where you'll be.
Yo, the
Over
club
to
is
you.
crazy. If anybody at the club at what times it come out? Like 6, 5, 6?
What's that?
What times the election come out? The votes.
The final
Oh,
results?
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
It might take days, but they're going to do the massive counting on Tuesday.
Hey, Billups. Shots to First Sergeant Billups said he plead the fifth. Royce.
Now,
Royce
Billups,
said
come
he'd be
on,
in the
man.
club drinking
Hold
40,
on, hold on. Oh, is he saying he plead the fifth for who he going to vote for, or
Or who he
where
did
is he going to
vote.
be at?
No, who
Huh?
he voted for. Who he voted
Okay,
for.
let me preface this before we begin. Guys and gals, we are all adults. It's a safe space here. Regardless if you voted for Kamala Harris or President Trump or Kennedy or the dude down at the local street pub down the street, or you decide to vote for the alien that hasn't come to the earth yet.
Is that
Just
the
curious,
independent?
tell us why.
The alien answer. Let me see. Faye said, my kid and I both voted, and we are house divided. But both respect the other reason why. That's the hard part right now. Tony Renee, what's up, Tony? Raymond Billups, or you gonna be drinking a fifth? So I guess you already did vote, or first of all,
me?
yeah. First of all, Nikki said Harris, the other side is more morally corrupt.
Corrupt. First of all, thank you for leaning out and saying that, Nikki. I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about.
Nikki, a G.
Yeah.
But did you know that civilians get 4 hours on Tuesday to go vote?
Not surprising.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
This ain't no work gonna get done at IMC, huh?
Yo, that's crazy. 4 hours. Charles said, oh, he'll be in Tempe. Oh man, it's gonna be packed. Uber and Pete. Yo, Pete got to work. Pete got so much work to do. Can't make it. Damn. Charles, I would have been there. Can't make it. You know, you wish you could, man. You just can't. Just can't. Philip said maybe we drink. Yep, just learned civilians got that yesterday. Yeah, I learned that on Friday. Or I'm sorry, last Wednesday. They were like, yeah, make sure all your civilians get their 4 hours. I was like, 4 hours? That's half the damn day. All civilians gonna be leaving at 12 and not coming back for the rest of the day.
Do you care to go first, or you want me to go first?
What do you want me to say? Because you know I didn't vote.
I asked you the question, so tell us. If you didn't vote, say you didn't vote and why. Tell us where you're going to be at, and tell us why you didn't vote.
Okay, I'll be quick.
You don't subscribe to. Well, actually, I won't make it easy for you. Since you said you didn't vote or you're not going to vote, tell us the good and the bad of each candidate and why you decided not to vote.
Okay, I'll say the independent I know nothing about, so I'll just move past that one. Trump. We'll start with Trump. The good thing about Trump, he's really good on economics. I believe he's good on economics. Thank you. Really good on relations with understanding trades, immigration, working with foreign leaders. I think he's really good at that. Way more than we give him respect for. What he's really bad at, we never know what he might say while he's talking to foreign leaders. I can see a conversation going like this. He's sitting in the White House in the Oval Office on the phone with Xi Jinping saying,
Xi Jinping. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Ping, let me tell you something. If you don't give us what we need, Harris, 100%. tariffs. And if you don't like that, we'll drop a bomb right on your house. Here's their address. So,
I can see something like that happening.
Okay, extra points for the voice mod
Thank
changeover.
you.
That wasn't bad, actually.
Thank you.
That actually
Um,
wasn't bad. That wasn't an impression, Jacory. That was voice mods, but I give him credit because he did it. So that was pretty good.
Yo, what's up, Felicia? Absentee ballot is in. Kamala Harris, I still don't know what this young lady's thoughts are on various subjects. I don't even want to go into all of them, but various subjects. Basically any subject. Except for giving people $30,000 for starting a new business, $6,000 for having a kid, and $10,000 for a house. For the next 4 years, you could pretty much make $80,000 by starting a business, having a kid, and buying a house every year.
Right.
So good and bad on both sides. I'm not going to be involved in it. A lot of comments are coming in. So let me get to these comments, and then I'm interested to hear your part. Man, we'll get
You
to
wanna- You want to get to
Nikki
the
said
comments
he's not
first, or-
good at economics. Saturday on the traumatic
Sat on the tarmac.
tarmac in New Mexico, because
Uh-huh.
he didn't pay for the first time. He brought a jet there. Also, Google Trump University. Oh, I had to Google. I didn't look at that. I had to do that.
Okay.
Uh,
Mhm.
Charles Davis said, Carmela. Nikki said, if you choose not to vote, you don't get an opinion on. You're absolutely right. Don't care. Don't care about the outcome. Like Carthron said, we fucked either way. Oops. We fucked. Well, either way. There we go. All right. All you.
Okay. So let's see. All right. So first, let's start with former President Trump. People are not getting money for kids. This is not stimulus, bro.
They are. Well, that's the only thing I heard from her, that she wants to give people $6,000 for newborns to start off on the right foot.
Okay, so here's my thought. Jacory
Thank you,
says
Chris.
I don't vote, but I don't complain either way.
That's right.
Interesting. Jacory, I'm interested to hear why you don't vote. So I wonder if it's similar to Pete's thoughts as far as voting for the presidential election. Okay, so real quick, I'll say let's start with President Trump.
Here it
So
goes.
here's the good thing about former President Trump. One, in my view, based on what I've seen and what I've experienced, from my viewpoint, when he was in office, it did seem like the economy was more stable than it has been for the past 4 years under President Biden. That's what my impression is. Number two, although President Trump is a bit of a loose cannon, I won't say a bit, he is a loose cannon, and I do agree he is unhinged, but there is a level of benefit to it. And here's why. When President Reagan was elected back in the 80s, I can't remember the exact year, his first term, President Reagan, his whole platform was to be more tough on the Soviets. And because of that, the Soviet Union was like paranoid. They thought this guy was crazy. I'm looking at these different shows talking about the Cold War, and the Soviets actually thought President Reagan was a psycho. And because of that, they was afraid of this guy. They said, this guy is going to cause the next world war. And most experts believe that's why, one of the reasons why the Russians or the Soviets at the time did not do as much as, like, say, Vladimir Putin is doing now. So I do think, even though President Trump is unhinged, I think because of his personality, you'll have some of these dictators, would-be dictators that's in the world, would be less hesitant to do things because they believe he would respond impulsively. And then number three, I do believe that President Trump would be more focused on the issues with the migrants coming into the country. That is a concern of mine. The last 4 years, I think we all can agree, at least in my opinion, it's gotten out of hand. I am not against folks coming to the United States. I just want them to do it legally. And I think the way things has been for the past 4 years has been out of control on the border. Now, the bad. He's unhinged. He's crazy. That dude is just like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know what he's going to say, but every day he's going to say something that's going to make us look terrible across the world. And so with that, you can make the argument that he is not a good representation of the United States. Now, you did mention something earlier. Hold on a second. Pete, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. You quiet. Okay. One of the things you mentioned earlier is about he's good with world leaders. I would argue against that, and here's why. I think we can agree NATO is the reason why Putin has not gone further beyond Ukraine.
Okay.
Ukraine is not a member of NATO, so it's pretty easy for Putin to go in there and try to invade Ukraine. But he's hesitant to do it with Poland or the Baltic states, and that's where NATO comes in. President Trump, during his tenure, made many comments about he wants the other countries in NATO to pay their fair share, and he was almost to the point of disbanding NATO, and that's what we definitely not need. So those are there's some other things that's bad about Trump, but I feel like I'm talking too long, so that's enough for Trump. Quickly about Vice President Kamala Harris. The good. I think she's a good representation of America. She is poised. She is poised, calm, very diplomatic, and I think that's what the world wants out of the U.S. president. They don't want an unhinged, crazy president. Number two, obviously because of the possibility that she will make history as the first female president in the United States and a minority. I mean, that's huge. And I think a lot of folks will get behind that. Now, the bad. I don't know what she stands for. Is it she's going to do the same thing she did when she was working for President Biden or what? I just don't know. Every interview I've seen her in, I have yet to see an outline of a policy. And most people will argue and say, well, former President Trump hasn't done it either. But he has a record. Vice President Harris does not. She only has a record as a vice president. And you have some folks that'll say, you can't really hold Kamala Harris to that because she was the vice president. She wasn't the president. She's going to follow suit or what her boss says. But now she's running. Has she not said in many debates, you're not running against Biden. You're running against me. Okay, if he's running against you, tell us in detail a little about what you plan on doing about abortion, about the economy, about the state of world affairs. We haven't heard it. All we hear is it's a counterpoint. Vice President Harris, do you think that what's going on at the border could have been handled differently? Well, I'll tell you, President Trump, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, we're asking you. What about you? What do you plan on doing? So I do agree with one of the comments about one of the folks in the comments that said we're screwed either way. I kind of agree with that too. I personally think I'm not a fan of either candidate, but that's all we have on the ticket. So if I had to make a choice, it would be Vice President Harris. I just don't think we can. I don't think we can handle another 4 years of President Trump. Now, am I confident that she's going to be able to solve a lot of problems? No, I'm not. Am I confident she's going to be able to stop the war in the Middle East? No. Am I confident she's going to be able to stop Putin in Ukraine? No, I'm not. But one thing I am certain of, I think 9 times out of 10, I don't think she's going to cause the country to implode. If that makes sense. So
okay, a lot to digest. So we have a bunch of comments, so we'll get to those real quick. Said Mark Cuban broke down the economy under Trump on Twitter. definitely a good video, and he's in the tax bracket. The information is available to him. We don't have as middle class economy. I think I did see that video. I can't remember. Tony Renee, my thing when people talk about economics, the last 4 years, don't forget there was a whole pandemic. I got it. Pandemic happened. We need to take our country's health. If only independent parties had their own chance, ultimately money wins and both parties have money. Very true. Very, 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 very true. So kind of unfortunate. We are used to hearing the insane rhetoric from him that sounds like she stands for nothing. Yes, he has a record as president. Damn something, yet people will talk about his good. It makes no sense. Probably makes no sense how I just read it. Charles, it's too long to read, so I ain't gonna read it. The effects of
Hold on, I could give it a try. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't read. It's too small.
Too long.
It says
Can't
something
read
about
that.
the dude is something economy. I can't read it. It's too small.
She
Sorry.
says she believes we have a chance with Kamala. A president can only solve problems with a good cabinet and the ability
Good
to
point.
communicate with both sides. So
That's a good
why
point.
can't that go for Trump also? As long as he has a good cabinet, we're good.
Yeah, I personally think there's less of a chance for President Trump if he gets elected. His last cabinet, it just seems like he puts people in the cabinet that agrees 100% with him. And I think that's the danger.
Yeah, Diggy said he hires friends. You know what? I hate to say it. Nothing that is said on here represents DOD or the armed forces as a whole. Same thing we do in the military. Same exact thing. Civilians hire their friends. Military hire their friends. When they get out, they hire their friends. Charles, I'll shoot you the link. We could try it. You could be our first guest for trying this if you want.
Yes, jump on.
Give me a second. I gotta set all this up. It's my first time trying it.
And while he's doing it, hey, just like I said before, this is a great topic. Be great to get y'all guys on, see you on camera, 30, 60 seconds, talk about what we're
right,
to
let me-
provide your comments. Yeah.
Let me try something. Give me a second.
All right. Stand by, friends and family.
Okay. So far, you're good. I'm not good. All right. We're getting it. Give me a second. Boom. All right. We got us two in here. Make myself a little bit bigger. All right. Pause. All right. Charles, let's see if we can get you on here. Link. Copy that. Oh, this is going to be scary. Are you still on? All right. You're still on.
You still here?
All right, I'm gonna try to get you in because I'm very interested to hear your point on this. All right, Charles, you have the link. Change the view up a little bit. Hopefully y'all can see it, and we can see if I can get you in. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully, if it doesn't, let me know. Try one more thing and go from there.
Your friends and family say a prayer.
Say a prayer.
If you're wondering why we're saying this is a new platform we're using. I think it's going to make it a little bit more dynamic. So shout out to Pete for trying to do this. But, obviously you're going to have some kinks and bugs when you do new stuff. So just bear with us. While he's doing that, there was one more thing I wanted to add about Kamala Harris. Like, I do agree. I do agree that President Biden was not fit to continue as a candidate. I do agree. And I wonder, and maybe somebody can enlighten me, did Vice President Kamala Harris had any plans in the future of running for president again? Because she's done it before, and she didn't make it to the top ticket. but obviously now she's running and she has a chance to win. So I wonder if things happened differently and President Biden continued, did Kamala Harris have the desire to run again in 4 years if President Biden or former President Trump won? So I'm curious. Maybe I'm
You think
wrong.
would Biden run again?
No, like say if what happened didn't happen and
Okay.
President Biden continued as the candidate. Did Vice President Kamala Harris had a desire to
No.
run?
No.
You don't think she would have ran?
Hell no. Hold on. Let me give you one more link. Try one more time. If it don't work, it might be still got to figure it out. I might just try. If this don't work, I'm gonna try with my phone and see where I'm messing up at. But I don't think she was never. Well, she tried to run in the beginning and got no votes. Once she got no votes, then everything started. But everybody already, the Democratic Party already said that they'll get Biden in there. And once they did and he backed out, they had $25 million they had to do to the Biden-Harris campaign. The weird thing is, if that is true, they would have lost all that money. It's still not the Biden-Harris ticket. It's somebody else's ticket.
Yeah. Hey, why are you
So-
doing that? I think I can read Charles Davis' comments while he's still trying to get on. Okay, so Charles Davis says the effects of an administration's economy is not felt into the first half of the next administration's 4 years. So Trump was riding Obama's economy. So Biden, Harris, and the people are feeling the effects of Trump's bad economic decisions and fumbling COVID. So make it make sense, because the math ain't mathing on this. Trump is the economy. Also, please let's make sense and go to the 89-page document on her agenda on her page and with what she is going to do. Now, Charles, look, I hear you, but I want to hear her look in the camera and tell us that. Not everybody knows where her document is. Isn't that what a presidential candidate is supposed to do? Or any candidate for that matter? Got it, you have 189 or 89-page document. But if we're asking you, if the interviewer is asking you, look in the camera and give us small tidbits, give us the cliff notes. But it seems like every single time she gets asked that, she always goes back to the same thing. Well, you know, I was born to a middle-class family, and I don't want to hear that anymore. I want to hear specifically in cliff notes what you plan on doing for those particular matters. Same thing for presidential or former President Trump. Same thing. Now, I will give you this. Your argument about COVID is valid. I personally think former President Trump, fumbled COVID tremendously. He did. I mean, the country was in disarray. We were fumbling over ourselves trying to get COVID vaccine. It was madness. And then these comments that he was making about some of these experts that was trying to assess the lethality of the virus was also an issue too. I remember that. And then all the name calling, it was a complete mess. Personally, I think, is it me or does it seem like Trump wants to be president because he just likes the limelight? Or some folks thinks he wants to be president so he doesn't have to go to jail.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Do y'all really believe that? I'm curious, like, is there any people, anyone in the comments that actually are for former President Trump? I'm curious. And I know Faith says a house divided. I'm curious as to why, maybe one of her kiddos believe, or her another part of her family believes in President Trump. I'm curious to hear why. Because I would tell you, it kind of shocks me that with all the stuff that we say President Trump has done in the past, that he's being sent, he had to go to court for, and that was charged with, he's still running for president. I mean, some people say, like, how do we have a criminal running for president? some reason some people, a good amount of people don't believe he's a criminal. So interested in that. So looking at some other comments while you're doing that.
I'm done. I can't figure it out. Sorry, Charles.
Okay.
I can't get it.
All right. Okay, Charles Davis says, true, Philly, I agree. I'm just saying democracy is also about participating, and that is reading and doing the research. I agree. But Charles, man, only thing I would add to that is and it's our own fault too. Sometimes we want stuff given to us straight. Like we don't want to do the research. It's almost like, how my favorite is you get on a Facebook post and you see somebody has something or post a picture of something cool. And we say, hey, yo, where you get that from? Oh, I got it from so and so. Can you send me a link? I just told you where I got it from. Google it, right? But no, people want it straight with no chaser. So no, it's the same way with the document, but I hear you. Nikki MB says Trump isn't saying anything either. I agree. I agree.
You
I
agree
agree
with
100%. But I will say this. He has a track record, whether it be good or bad. We're both bad and a little good. Vice President Harris does not, and it has been said on many platforms, not just those from the right, but also from the left, that she has to do a better job of telling the American public what she stands for. Because I think there are some folks who are in the middle, including myself, still don't know. I just don't know. I know she stands for having some order in the White House. I know that. I know she's for equality and inclusiveness. I'm all for that. But I want to know, what does she stand for when it comes to the border? I know she says like it needs to be fixed and I'm going to get after it and fix it, but how? How? I know they say I'm not President Biden, I'm running on my own ticket. But I'm telling you, there are people that still think she's going to mirror what her boss has done. And to some, that's not enough. That's all I think most folks are saying.
Do you think she's
Nikki MB says that's enough for me. I got you. I agree with you. I hear you.
do you think she's a worthy candidate to run?
I do. I don't think she's as good as Hillary Clinton.
Interesting.
I voted for Hillary. I don't think she's as good as Hillary.
Wow.
I really don't.
Wow.
And I'll be honest, when she says like, oh, I used to be a district attorney in California and I went against, because that's what she says every time they talk about the border. When I was in California, I went up against I was the only one on the stage that went up against drug dealers and drug lords. I don't care about that. Tell us how you're going to secure the wall. Are you going to go talk to Mexico, the president of Mexico? Are you going to do sanctions, or are you going to make incentives? Are you going to keep the wall? Are you going to tear down the wall? Are you going to make new laws? Are you going to take away laws? What are you going to do? All right, Felicia Ferguson says, what made him qualified to even be number 46? If Trump had finished the wall like he said, we wouldn't be talking about the border.
What
Okay,
made
so
him
Felicia-
qualified? I mean, just more
Well, I will-
qualified.
No. I think she made a point, because when President Trump got elected, when he was running, people was like, who is this guy? Like, what makes him qualified to run for president? This dude was a reality star / business tycoon / investor, and he won. You know why? I think because people wanted something different than the normal politician. And let's be honest, the stuff that he does now, he says in public, things we look and we say, why would a person say that in a president? Because there's a majority of Americans that want to say what he says, and he says it for them. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I'm so divided. It's just like, at the end of the day, I think Nikki said it. It's all about the cabinet. Like, I don't care if I'm the president. I'm not gonna be able to do something so crazy that it's gonna affect us that bad. Because everybody, including your boss, including my boss, including the president, has advisors. Now, can you go against the advisor? Yeah, but you're not going to. Not so much as far as pushing the envelope too far.
Hmm.
So that's why I look at the president like a figurehead of the United States. Like when you look at Putin representing Russia, I mean, that's a figurehead of Russia. We change our president 4 years, maybe 8. So we don't really have that same figurehead representing us like other countries do, like the Queen for England. So it's like, what really can the president do that's going to affect us that bad?
Oh, there's a lot.
Name one.
There's a
oh,
lot.
God, Billups.
There's a lot.
Ooh-wee.
I can read it. First, let me go to Michael Bowles. Michael Bowles.
It's not Michael.
Michaela. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Michaela. I'm sorry. My eyesight is so bad. So Michaela Bowles, and hopefully I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. She says if they don't fix the immigration issue, we will lose border states to their own democracy. Texas about 8 months ago. That's pretty compelling. I mean, you think about it. I mean, who's affected the most by immigration? The migrants.
Texas, Arizona,
California, right?
Florida.
Exactly. So this is big. I mean, this is a big issue. And I'll get to your point. This kind of illustrates or sets up my point as far as what can the president do. Raymond Billups says, I'm torn between the two. I think Trump is going to be a better president when it comes to foreign policy, since 2027 is the declaration when or if China invades Taiwan. I don't know her stance on Taiwan. Agreed. I don't know her stance on China. Agreed. Additionally, they knew Joe wasn't in the best health, and it took Americans to notice his health before she ran. Why didn't she come out from the beginning? I like Trump is a renegade, and he speaks his mind. Harris is a career politician, but she is more stable. But I wish she would have ran from the beginning. She would have had the chance to speak her views and her agenda and maybe elaborated what she's done on as VP.
That's a good point.
Let's see. So before I get to Charles Davis, let me quickly capture your point. When you says, let me make sure I understand what you said. You said the president can't really do anything to the people.
No. They do, but what can they really do? Like, how bad can they really get? Because there's so many laws, steps, everything in place. Like, what has a president do that has just been catastrophic? I'm talking about the president by himself solely.
Well, I will tell you, and I know it's kind of an extreme example, but a president could start a nuclear war.
By himself?
Yeah.
He don't have to ask it. Secretary of Defense.
So scenario. There's missiles in the air and look like they're inbound to the United States. But hey, you got to have. But hey, all I'm saying is that person, that president that you speak of, that to your argument, you need someone who is level-headed and can make a decision like that. I mean, that's an example.
If you're pausing, I want to jump in.
Yeah,
if you're pausing, I hear you.
Yeah.
Any decision that's made, hindsight is going to be 2020, not 50-50, 2020. If he does a nuclear launch, people are going to be like, oh my God, that's the wrong decision. Wait 2, 3, 5, 10 years, and then figure out if it's the wrong decision. If he doesn't, people are going to be like, why didn't we nuke him? But nobody's going to know right away. So that's what I'm saying. What really can they do that's so detrimental to the country?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, brother. I'm lost on that. When you said, let me make sure I understand what you said. You said when a nuclear launch happens and the president, whoever that may be, decides to launch, no one's going to be able to go back. Or they ain't going to be able to assess it till years later?
Right.
Bro, we'll be dead.
Okay,
what
cool.
are you talking about?
Whoa. If we nuke another country, we'll be dead?
Think about it. Scenario: missiles are inbound to the United States. The president decides to launch. And let's say the missiles weren't heading to the United States or it was a limited exchange. Let's say president, whoever they may be, decides to do a full launch, which starts off a chain reaction. Another country launches and another country launches. Bro, we would be dead more than likely. So we won't have the opportunity. And like I said, I will admit this is an extreme example, but this is one of the duties of the person in the cabinet of the president of the United States. Now, when you talk about smaller issues, such as like on the economy or maybe some law changes, yeah, he or she will have people in the cabinet to advise them. And he will likely still have to go through all the legal challenges of going through Congress and things of that nature. But I mean, you look at some of the laws that was passed, it still went through Congress and the Senate and all the other stuff, and it still got passed, and it still was impacted Americans, and it was a wrong decision, which is one of the things which is one of the things that is being talked about during this election, like Roe versus Wade. That's another example, something that went through and it was passed, and now we're looking back and say, hey, that was a bad idea.
And those are the things I'm talking about. Like, if we're just going to make every decision be thought about, talked about 5 years later, who cares who the president is? You do your best, you try your best, and we move on. Now, I will say understanding Trump's rhetoric is helpful, not harmful, because I know he's crazy. I know if somebody pops off to the U.S. that we're going to fire back. Harris, on the other hand, I don't know. We might be sitting there like the bully on the playground, just slapping us all in the face, and we're just taking it. No, he don't mean it. It's okay. Let's try to talk it out. Let's try to work it out. And meanwhile, on the backs of Americans, we're getting slapped all around. With Trump, I can understand that if we get slapped one time, he's at least going to slap back. Tariffs, border, immigration, war. Do I agree? No, but I also don't think that the world is plays by the same rules that we like to hold our heads up high about. Land of the free, home of the brave. Other countries don't play like that. So I don't know, just thought process. I won't say it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Let me grab the comment. So Charles Davis said, Pete, you said a lot saying it is about the cabinet. So you're so right. So he went against the advisement during COVID. Make it make sense. He also says he disregarded his cabinet during COVID and roughly 200,000 more died. So you ask what a president can do. Nikki MB said, we be dead, Pete. She also says, bro uses the Supreme Court to pass what he wants. She also says, I would like my president not to be a womanizer, though. We can talk about that one real quick. Charles Davis said, Pete, you said tariffs, brother. You are starving my good brother for the knowledge. Felicia Ferguson says, he's the one, I think she's referring to President Trump. He's the only one to take a right from the people. Roe versus Wade. Exactly. When was America great for all races?
Exactly.
So let's quickly talk about what Nikki and B comment about. I would like my president not to be a womanizer, though. Do you think former President Trump is a womanizer?
I hope you're asking her and not me.
No, I'm asking you. Yeah.
I think he had his moments. I don't know if I can classify him as that. I mean, how you classify somebody as that? She said 100%. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's more than being a womanizer. I think he has a lack of contempt for more than just women, but for folks, other races, economic status.
Yep.
He doesn't do a really good job on ensuring everyone feels like they matter, only for his purpose. And I think because of his mentality. I think in some ways he's a narcissist in some ways.
Oh yeah.
I think he just loves the spotlight and just stuff just rolls off his tongue. Now I will give him credit. Whether you think whether folks thinks this is a great quality or not, he at least lets you know
Right.
what he's thinking.
Right.
Whereas for other folks, and let's specifically concentrate on Vice President Harris, she's not going to do that. And that's what a politician does. And so there have been politicians in the past that have done this as well. It's not just her. I don't want to pick on Vice President Harris. Only I would say is, again, I will go back to what I said earlier. I want to know what you stand for. Versus,
why'd you vote for?
I'll get to that in a minute. I think I did. All right. Anyway, I want to know what you stand for, because you say you're going to be the president for everyone: Democrats, Republicans, African Americans, Caucasians, Indian Americans, Asian Americans, the whole nine. However, what policies do you stand for? Because there are certain things that occurred in these 4 years under President Biden's cabinet that was not effective. So I want to know, is it going to be the same thing as it continue President Biden economics #2, or is it going to be a modification? That's all I want to know. And maybe I need to go to her webpage and check out her article and take a look at it. But I want to know that. The reason why I voted for Vice President Harris is because although she does not solve or stands for what I believe in, what I think is important, like matters of national security and the affairs across the world, I feel the lesser of the evil is Vice President Harris. So if someone were to say, hey, you're voting for Vice President Harris, tell us why. Everything won't be great. It would be a lot of, okay, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. It's almost like, hey, do you want good? No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to make it sound like I put it like this. It's pick the lesser of two evils. That's the way I look at it. And so voting,
That's kind of scary. I guess
yeah.
the way I think about it is, I don't know. I mean, I'm not voting, so it don't matter to me. Like I said, either way, I think, like you've illustrated, I'd rather just know what you stand on, so I can figure out how to move with you or move around you,
Right.
than be unknown. And it's almost like, say she's all like pro this, pro that. She gets in the White House, all that pro stuff goes out the window.
Yeah.
It's like she already showed you who she was. She doesn't really stand for anything, so you can't be surprised if she said one thing and then she gets in the White House, something else happens. It's like, didn't know who you were anyway. Is there another way to get on, bro? I would like to give me 6. Yo, that's the only way,
like
bro.
double dutch.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't know why it's not working. I tried myself. It's just not working. I just don't understand it. It's funny. I just Apple News just came out with the thing that said, how would Harris or Trump's presidency change America?
I don't think it would change America.
See, that's what I'm saying, Felicia. That's every president. No. Let me stop you there. Everyone except for Trump. He's not a politician. So he's just going to say how he feels. Like, the one things I can say, he wants to close immigration. He wants to drill, baby, drill. And he wants to put tariffs on other countries that are giving us things or building things for $100 and selling it to us for $10,000 and then selling it to the consumers for $15,000. So I don't know how that works, what that looks like, but those are the things that just 3 off the top of my head that I know. So if he says he's going to stop the war in Ukraine while he's, what's that called? When you get elected, but you don't swear in yet? What's that period called? The in-between?
I don't know.
Anyway, after he gets elected, he he said he's going to stop the war in Ukraine. So we'll see what happens. He wants to get the rich. I agree with that. So at least we know. And this is my point. At least you know.
I only thing I'm gonna counter with that is I think Harris stands for something, but for me, it's not enough. Like I get it. Nikki said earlier, her not being a bigot or a racist is that enough? Is that enough reason? I don't think so. And here's why. The things that I'm concerned about, yes, I'm concerned about the country, being at war with itself. I am concerned about that. I don't want another insurrection. I don't want another, president spewing hatred on a microphone to folks, which it wasn't him, but it was a part of his rally. But we'll get to that later. I don't want that. I want a president that's going to bring people together. And some people argue former President Trump brings people together. He tries, but it just seems like every single time he opens his mouth, some craziness comes out. And it's just like, it's crazy. And the sad thing is like I said before, there are millions of Americans who believe the same way he does or thinks the same way he does. And contrary to the thought of him being a bigot or a racist, there are a lot of folks, African Americans, Latino Americans, well, maybe not Latino Americans after what happened, this past week, but there's a lot of minorities, whether they're getting paid or not, that seem to be on board. Some of my personal friends who are African Americans too, that believe in Trump. And you know why? They say because of the economy. They say because of world affairs and because they don't trust Vice President Harris. So if there's anything we should talk about, is how is it possible that could be happening? Huh?
I don't think I don't trust her. Because my belief is not a lot she can do. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't. Do you think this is the biggest election ever?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? If 4 years ago when this happened, when President Biden and President Trump was going against each other, I would say no. But because of the state of the world, not only domestically, but across the globe, whoever is president, they will set the stage of what's going to happen to this world in 4 years. Whether let's start in the country, whether the economy gets worse. Number 2, abortion laws. Number 3, immigration. And then the world affairs. Middle East war could dangerously get out of control. You've got the issue in Eastern Europe with the Russians, Ukrainians. Now the North Koreans are getting involved.
Right.
You've got tensions getting even worse on the peninsula, on the Korean peninsula. You've got the issue with Iran. And you've got these actors now all coming together to start their own alliance. Sounds similar to what happened in World War II. So this president the world's going to be looking to whoever it is that's in the office to be the leader to stem some of this stuff. So this is big. This is big. And to answer my earlier question, unfortunately, I didn't want to, but I will be in DC.
Oh, wow.
For
That
2
sucks.
days. So that's going to be interesting that I'll be in DC. Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Well, good luck to you.
Michaela Bowles says this may determine whether we go to war or not within ourselves or with the world.
Yeah.
Exactly. And let me quickly say this, and if you want, we can roll on to something else if you like.
Appreciate that. Did you get your shirt? Did you get your shirt yet?
You
Go
talking
ahead.
to me?
No, Charles Davis said
Okay.
he's rocking the UP shirt because you brothers
brothers
speak great
spark
topic.
Hey, appreciate it, bro. Charles, I owe you a call, man. I'm gonna call you after the show, man, if you're available. My bad, I forgot. Real quick to Michaela's comment about World War, right? Here's what I think. I think if President Trump is in the office, we're going to war. If Kamala Harris is in the office, we're going to war, but at a disadvantage.
Ooh,
Meaning we're going to be caught. We're going to be caught unawares. Meaning
Ooh-wee.
something's going to happen, and we're not going to be ready. And meaning there's
Ooh.
going to be a hesitation on a decision that's being made. Let's say, case in point, hypothetically, um, the North Koreans are already involved in Ukraine, but let's say they decide to move on. Um, I don't know. Let's say they take 80% of the Ukraine. They move and they take Kiev. I think we're going to be like, hey, we're not going to do anything. Whereas if Trump, I think he's going to probably go in there. I wouldn't be surprised he get in office. He goes in there right away.
Mm.
So it's like pick your poison. My thoughts. Anyway, we can move on though. Okay.
Ooh, always beware the loudest person in the room. I agree with that. Oh, you know
Mhm.
what, Nikki, you bring up a good point. We talked about this last night. Me and Philly talked about when you guys are in the room. I don't know what positions y'all hold, but do you feel compelled to always speak when you're in the room? As far as like staff meetings, commanders calls, whatever room you're in where you're not in charge of it, do you feel compelled to always speak up? And then, how do I phrase this? I don't want to say if not why. I think, do you agree there's advantage of not talking all the time so that when you do have something to say, people pay attention more?
Oh,
Other than the
absolutely.
person just spouts out stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you should, especially depending on your position, you should be very aware of when is the right time. You should never feel like you have to comment on everything, because then I think your comments eventually lose its substance, its impact. But then when you do and you don't normally comment, I think people are more apt to listen,
Okay, so Philip
especially if
said,
it has substance.
when I'm called upon, I should have something ready to say, but I always want that everyone to ensure their voice is heard. Okay, so Phillips, that's my question. You're a shirt, you're in staff meeting, I'm sure it goes around to you. Like, shirt, you have something. You telling me every time you should have something to say in those situations? And I'm picking on you because you're the only one that say yeah. So I apologize for that. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Agree with that. What value is being added? True. But everybody thinks that, I would think that if you're speaking, you're thinking you're adding value. I don't think people just speak just to be heard. Maybe I'm wrong.
I do. There's some people that like the sound of their voice, and they will. My favorite is when, not all, but my favorite is when I sit on chief panels, and then an
Right. There's a
airman
good
asks a
example.
question, and they'll say, "Hey, chief, what do you think the weather is like today?" And the chief will be like, "Hey, the weather is 90 degrees." Everybody straight off their phone. It's 90 degrees. It's hot, sunny. It feels like 110 degrees. Okay. And they were like, "Chief, you got anything?" Yeah. Not only is it hot, it's extremely hot.
Right.
It's
The
scorching
piggyback.
hot. Chief, what else do you got? Chief, what do you have? Oh, I don't want to repeat what they said, but it's extremely hot. And you better make sure you wear shorts and you wear a tank top. Then they go to the last chief. What did you say? Well, I agree with everything everyone else says. Only thing I would add is drink a lot of water.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
The-
There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, he said it all. I'm good. Next
the-
question.
It seems like, do you think people feel like their competency has fallen in other people's eyes if they don't have something to say? Because that's what I'm saying.
do.
I think when they talk, they feel like they're adding something. I would hope. But I do
Yeah.
know those people that, like, God bless, man, you always got to talk. And then you say the same thing the other person says, or you say the same thing you say every time.
I think there's nothing wrong with recognizing you're not the expert
What up, Thor?
when it comes in the room. When you hear a discussion, case in point, if I'm sitting with you and you're doing a discussion about stocks and investing, why should I speak up? That's not my expertise.
Mm.
Now, if a comment you said resonated with me and I can add something of substance to it, especially like say if you said something like, folks who don't invest, they're going to end up dead in 5 years. Then I'll be like, well, hey, then I would like it triggers me, but like, hey, look, if that's the case, I'm not dead and I haven't invested in 10 years.
Right, right,
Can you
right.
explain why you feel that way? Then to me, that makes sense. But if you're going into detail about a topic I'm not well versed in, then I'm going to listen. And then when you come to me and they say, well, you got a comment? And I'm like, no, I don't have anything. There's nothing wrong with that.
Said I'm a curious person, so I will speak to ask questions. It helps me understand other perspectives.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I don't
I
mind
agree
that,
with
but
that.
I'm just
Yeah.
talking about people that like, oh God, I think we all kind of said it. We have people that just speak up and just talk like, bruh, shut it up. And then I think the worst of that is the long-winded people. Like the people who don't even know they're long-winded, but they've been talking for 5 minutes. It's like, God, dog, you still talking. Can you read that Billups comment? It's gonna be small.
All right. Raymond Billups says, well, there's nothing wrong with saying nothing, but saying I don't have nothing all the time will have leaders and our members not knowing where we stand. I also think sometimes I speak just to emphasize what my commander is saying, just to show a united front. However, I easily say no further questions. I like to judge the room, and if they look defeated, I just help with no comments to get them out of the meeting. So let me quickly do 20 seconds. So I agree. I think in this question that you asked, Pete, I think it really matters to the position that you're in and the situation. If your commander principal is doing is having some discussions about something vitally important and it affects the formation at hand, then I think there's some, unless you're going to add something extra or you're going to use your position
Mm-hmm.
to kind of nail down and hammer down what the commander is saying, that's vitally important. However, if you are in a meeting and they're talking about something that is not going to affect the masses, like say it's a normal staff meeting and they're talking about, let's say, aircraft sorties. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, our aircraft sorties was down last month. All right, next topic. Okay, uh, let's talk about the maintenance for the vehicles. Maintenance is down at 70%. We need to do something to fix that. All right, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's all we got. Shirt, you have anything? What you gonna add? What you
Nothing.
gonna add? Like, hey
Yeah.
guys, if you need some help, if you got some
Yeah.
mental health issues, come see me. That has nothing to do with what you guys talk about. Now, I'm not saying you can't add that because that's what you're doing from your position. But let's be honest, at the time, they're thinking about that briefing that
Mhm.
just occurred. Now, fast forward. Hey guys, we lost somebody over the weekend, blah, 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 blah. This individual has some hard times looking for mental health. Hey, supervisors, if you see your troops in trouble, you got to take the time to talk to them, help them get their help that they need. Okay, that's all I got. Sure, you got anything? Boom, that's your
Mhm.
chance. That's your opportunity to shine. Hey, as a first sergeant, let me share a story with you that I went to mental health. That's nailing down what your principal said. I think that's the case.
I agree. And but you have heard the term you should always be ready to say something.
I don't agree. I don't necessarily agree.
But you
with that.
heard
I
the
think-
term.
I
I'm
think
just
you-
asking if you heard the
I,
term.
I, I put like I'm 50-50.
But you
'Cause I was
heard the
talking to some-
term.
Yeah, I've heard the term.
Okay.
I've learned. I have been a chief for a long time.
Long
I've
time.
heard. Now they've always taught me always have an elevator speech in your back pocket, and I do agree with that. However, again, I think it depends on the situation. If I am getting a brief from an agency about, let's say, Skill Bridge, that is an opportunity for me to jump in because it affects airmen, big A airmen, not just senior NCOs, but just everyone, even officers, whatever. I'll chime in on that. If we're having a discussion about um, the fortification of hangars for aircraft, maybe, maybe not. But if they're talking about infrastructure, like say building new dormitories or something, that affects airmen. Not only that, it affects CGOs and affect NCOs. privatized housing that affects big airmen. Okay, I'll jump in on that, if especially if something that's missed. But I think you should always have an opportunity, something that you can say that's going to inspire and uplift people at the right time. Does that make sense? I mean,
It
does that
does.
make
I
sense?
think the
It,
hard
it's
balance
the
is
situation.
yeah, I think the hard balance is when not to talk and when to talk. Like you could never have nothing all the time. Like if you're in for a whole month, weekly staff meetings, and a whole month you're like, nope, got nothing. Nope, got nothing. Nope, got nothing. Nope, got nothing. It's like, bro, what you doing? So I see
I
that
don't.
point too.
Yeah, I don't
So I
necessarily
think there's
agree
a
with that.
balance. Like I agree with you. You got to take advantage of the situation when it happens, but just can't force it. And like you said, people talking about sorties, and you be like, let's all go make sure your mental health is good. Like what just you almost took away from the whole meeting of the staff meeting if you add in your own rhetoric about what you want to talk about.
Because it's similar to what Raymond said. He said that, sometimes saying nothing, you people like they trying to get out of the meeting and get after it. Unless you have something with solid substance, there's nothing wrong with saying I have nothing.
Yeah, it's
And then,
just
especially his example, if I got something that's dealing with an EPB, right? And the whole staff meeting, we talk about programmatics, statistics, analysis. It has nothing to do with enlisted performance brief. One, you got to you got to know who's in the room.
that's a
If
good
in the
point.
room you have a bunch of NCOs, a couple of senior NCOs, and you have some commanders, and you had a problem with an EPB, let's say it was written incorrectly and it could have caused someone to have a issue with getting promoted. That's your opportunity to jump in because it's relevant. But if there's a briefing, you're having a maintenance meeting about sorties, and you got commanders in the room, and they say, "Chief, you got anything?" Why would I bring up an EPB?
Right,
It's not. It doesn't match the meeting, especially if it impacts one agency.
right.
It's
Right,
probably best I take that meeting offline and talk
right.
to them directly. But if it impacts the whole force and it's a staff meeting or it's an impromptu meeting, just a health check. Hey guys, we're just having a health check. What's going on in your sector? What's going on in your sector? What's going on in your sector? Okay, good. Chief, you got anything? Hey, I know we didn't talk about it, but I want to talk about this real quick. Blah, blah. Makes sense.
Right.
I think it just depends on the setting and who's in the room.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
moving on. NFL. Obviously, we got a bunch of games coming up. A lot of
Already started.
craziness going on in sports. Let's start with today's game. So you got the great Dallas Cowboys that is experiencing the demise. Micah Parsons is out. Trayvon
Right.
Diggs may be out. Ezekiel Elliott is not exactly out, but he's not going to play. He didn't travel because of some disciplinary issues. And they face your Atlanta Falcons, who are 5-3. What is going on with the Dallas Cowboys?
So this is a prime example when you pay too much money to singular positions and don't have enough for everybody else. Prime example. They are riding with Ezekiel Elliott, who hasn't done nothing in the league for probably 4 or 5 years. I'll say 3. I'll be nice. 3. And then but we got Dak Prescott, but we got CeeDee Lamb, but we got Micah Parsons. Until you don't have them, you need good backups for this. So this is a prime example of the NFL being a league of next man up. And when you don't have those next men up, this is a prime example of that. They don't have any other receivers. I cannot name another Dallas Cowboys receiver besides CeeDee. I don't know if you can.
What happened to Brandon Cooks?
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know now. They got Jake Ferguson. He's a tight end. He's pretty good. Jake Ferguson.
Oh, yeah, they do have him. You're right. You're right. Right. But I think really, we can't really name anybody. So I think it's a prime example of you just can't pay a lot of money to one position and think that's going to win, because that's not going to be it. That's not the formula for winning.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who was the other owner that was in the Jets owner. So, it seems like the Jets owner is taking a page out of the Jerry Jones book because,
Oh,
he
what is?
fired their head coach and all, and
Mhm.
the fans are complaining the Jets owner is too involved in player operations and doing press conferences and such. That's part of the problem what's wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. It's Jerry Jones. It's been documented all over in different circles. And I think, it's just the expectations of the Dallas Cowboys being America's team and expecting so much out of the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not particularly a bad team. I mean, they've got a decent quarterback. Their running game sucks. They've got a star wide receiver. Their defense, well, I guess is really bad now. But like, bro, I have never seen the Cowboys this bad in a long time. Where you got players who can't play, players getting disciplined. I knew things were getting off the rails when they brought Ezekiel Elliott, aka the Munchie Chi, back to be a running back. They could have got Derrick Henry. What the duck were they thinking, man? So they play your Atlanta Falcons, who are actually, doing pretty well, 5-3 in Atlanta. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it did for us. I don't think you guys go back, but we did. Yeah, we went back an hour. Yeah, 'cause disciplinary issues. Yeah. And what's your take on the Commanders keep winning? Yeah, what's your take on the Commanders? They just keep winning. I agree. Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I think Jaden Daniels is he's playing extremely well, but let's not get ahead of ourselves talking about he's the MVP. I mean, I can see rookie of the year, but not MVP, man. Huh? No, I just think there are a lot of folks that seem to believe he has a really good shot at winning MVP. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. You hater. You hater. You freaking hater. That's a perfect segue
All right.
to
Sorry about
the
that.
Eagles. So let me preface this by saying, yes, y'all beat us, but y'all barely beat us due to a drop pass. But a win is a win. But them
Exactly.
Eagles are looking good. You
Thank you,
have to
Davis.
say it. I mean, we're what, 5-2? We are on a 3-game winning streak, and I don't care what anybody say, the Giants were a bad team, but we beat the Bengals. Most people thought we were going to beat them, and we beat them in Cincinnati, and
Barely.
it took us 10 years literally to beat them. We beat
Barely.
Joe Burrow, and we played the Jags today. Your thoughts on the Eagles?
The Eagles are what the Eagles are. So I think they're a good team when healthy. As soon as one of your wide receivers, namely AJ, goes out, that just messes up your whole offense. Devontae Smith is not good enough to be a number one receiver.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Godwin, is it Godwin? Dallas Godwin?
Goddard.
Goddard is hit or miss, but he's reliable, but he's a little old. Who's the wide receiver y'all picked up that's supposed to be our number
he's
3?
Trash. Dotson. He's trash.
Dotson. Yeah, Dotson's been a bust.
And that's partly
then
because we ain't throwing the ball to him.
Well, that too. But, and then I think y'all use Saquon too much or don't use him enough.
Okay.
It's like never a good balance with Saquon. It's either like you're going to give him the ball 40 times a game or 7 times a game. So I think the Eagles will not beat the Commanders. So they will not be number 1 in the NFC East. I think they'll be a wild card team and be out the first round. Probably lose to the Lions.
Keep your goddamn mouth shut.
They're probably going to lose to the Lions in the first round. That's my prediction. I've been wrong with predictions. How you feel about the Lions?
No, you ain't gonna get off that easily, bro.
Oh,
let me comment.
Charles Davis ass.
Oh, my bad. I'll get to you second to Charles Davis. So I will agree. I think we don't use Saquon or we use him enough. I would subscribe mostly to we don't use him enough.
Okay.
I will tell you, Saquon has been averaging over 100 yards every game he's played in. He's in the top 5 in rushing. And when he does that, we win. And so I would argue using Saquon is our benefit. In fact, we don't use him enough in the passing game. I do agree with what you said as far as A.J. Brown. It seems like when A.J. Brown is out, we implode on the offense. To your point about Devontae Smith not being a number 1, you crazy. This dude has got 31 catches already, 3 touchdowns. Did you see he played last week? He does not get enough credit because he's under AJ's shadow. This dude's humble enough to be able to accept that. Everybody know AJ is a star when it comes to receiving core, but Devontae Smith, AJ would not be as effective without Devontae Smith. And yes, Dallas Goedert is up and down. He is up and down.
I agree with that. Your defense is without Blankenship. I think the back half of the defense is trash. Your corners are not what they were. Your safeties aren't what they were. The front line, linebackers are straight. The front line is decent. They hold good on the running game, but not great. All right, can we get off the freaking Eagles?
I wouldn't subscribe to that. When you say our corner, I mean, obviously you haven't been watching the game. You haven't been checking out Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, our rookies that Cooper DeJean. That dude has been balling. Reed Blankenship balling. Now, our defense has gotten a lot better over the weeks.
Yes.
I mean, after our shellacking we took from Tampa Bay. Now we play Jacksonville. I would expect being at home, we're going to kill Jacksonville, but
I don't know about kill.
Again, we're going to beat Jacksonville.
Yes.
But to Charles Davis' point, I think he said earlier, is using the Commanders as a litmus test for the Eagles. Yes. We play Dallas next week. And I would tell you, fun fact, there will be a Dallas show before the game. It is Kill Dallas next week. Anyway. Okay. Then we play the Commanders right after that. Before the Commanders would be an easy win, I'm a little concerned.
Is it a
bye? But I don't think the Commanders. I don't think the
When y'all bye?
We already had a bye.
Oh yeah.
That was early in the season.
Yeah,
we play the Commanders right after the Cowboys. We play in Dallas next week, which Dallas at home is trash. But we play the Commanders in Lincoln. So anyway, moving on from the Eagles.
Please.
Let's talk quickly about the Chiefs. How come nobody ain't beat them yet? And do you think they're going to lose this week?
So a lot of things goes Chief ways. Case in point, week 1. It's just stuff like that just happens to them. It's almost like the Patriots back in the day. Like they just find a way to win. Either they find a way, something happens to the other team, they implode. But that's one thing I'll say. Why do the Chiefs win? They don't beat themselves. I think that's the number one thing. They don't blow teams out, but they convert third downs when they need to, especially in the fourth quarter. But they don't do it all game, right? So they're not looking at we have to score in every possession, but they do score when they need to. They get in the red zone, best red zone team in the league. So when they get there, they're going to score. They don't turn the ball over, of course. I don't think Mahomes had an interception in a while.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I think last game he threw a couple.
Oh, not a couple.
I think he
Maybe it
threw
was Josh
2
Allen
last
and threw an
game.
interception in a while.
I'll have to look it up. I'm listening.
But yeah, so I think that's the thing about the Eagles, or excuse me, the Chiefs. They just don't beat themselves, and they wait for the other team to try to make a spectacular play, and things go haywire from there. They have the ability to take over if they need to, but they always just like to keep it close, third quarter, fourth quarter, blow you out, win by 2 touchdowns, and go home.
So, yeah, Mahomes threw a pick last week against the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just 1 pick. He's thrown 4 so far this year.
4 in 9 games, 8 games.
Yeah. His rating overall is 89.6. All right, and then Ravens-Texans. Ravens lose to the Browns, and the Texans lose to the Jets on Monday Night Football. Are they both capped?
You know what's funny with the Browns, especially? They bring in a backup quarterback, and they do better than the regular quarterback. It's like they brought in Jameis Winston, and all of a sudden he gets a win. So I think I don't want to call it a fluke, but they should have beat the Browns.
Oh yeah.
Texans, they just had a bad. Their offensive line couldn't block anybody. Man, CJ was getting murdered out there. So I think just stuff like that happen. We'll call it one bad week, and we'll see what happens next week. What do you think?
I think, I mean, it's the NFL. Anybody can get it any given Sunday.
Right.
But I will admit that loss to the Jets is concerning for the Texans, man. Like, CJ Stroud was under pressure a lot.
Right.
And great for the Jets because they needed that win. Maybe this will get them going. But, yeah, that was a little concerning. For the Ravens as well, I mean, people sometimes have one of those trap games. But James Winston, I'm not surprised, man. Deshaun Watson stunk all year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's got some other issues going on, man, with his court cases and stuff. He just seemed defeated anyway. So he probably was happy he got injured. You know? When Winston came out and he did that locker room speech about Deshaun Watson, I think he rallied the team. And they were a different team on that field that day.
Yeah. But, I mean, realistically, they lost because the field goal kicker lost. I mean, the field goal kicker just didn't make the field goal. So
a little more than that. I mean, you've got to just think if the team didn't work together, they wouldn't even got to that point. The Ravens should beat them by 2 touchdowns.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep.
And then the Lions. Are the Lions for real?
Yes.
Why?
You know what makes them real? They're unpredictable. That's what makes them real. They have 2 really good running backs, almost like lightning and thunder and lightning, whatever. Montgomery's like the power back. Gibbs is just so quick, so fast. Man, he did this juke move last week, so nasty. But Gibbs is so quick. Amra, that's a number 1 wide receiver. Amra is the number 1 wide receiver. And their coach is unpredictable. He'll go for it on 4th down, doesn't care. He does trick plays, and Jared Goff doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not throwing for 500 yards every game. He's throwing for 200, 150 yards, perfect completions, maybe 2-3 drops or 2-3 incompletes. And that's it. And just relying on their defense to go hunt. So I think they have a perfect formula.
Yeah, they're on a 5-game winning streak, but looking at their schedule, they beat the Cardinals, Seahawks, Cowboys, Vikings, Titans. So out of those 5 games, probably the most solid opponents, obviously, was Cowboys. The Vikings. They barely squeaked by the Vikings by 3 points.
They beat the crap out of the dang Cowboys.
And, I will give them credit. At the time, the Cowboys were considered a good team. So I would give them credit for that. And they beat the Seahawks. But their biggest opponent, I think you're going to really see what the Lions are made of over the next 2 games. They play the Green Bay today in
That's a
Green
good
Bay.
game. That's a good
That's going
game.
to be a good game. And a week after that, they play the Texans.
In Texas.
Yep, they play in Houston.
Yeah.
So that's going to really give us a good indication. So I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC. But as far as them being for real yet, like Super Bowl, I'm not convinced yet. I'll wait
Yeah,
until
not-
we'll see what happens with Green Bay.
Yeah.
All right, so quickly, if you don't mind, let me do one more NBA, and then we can go to the What the Duck Award.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bronny and LeBron. It seems like every single time I'm looking on social media, on TV, they're like, "Oh, the Cavaliers welcome back." They embrace Bronny James just like they did their father. Are you tired as much as I am of this news story between Bronny James and LeBron James being in
Yeah.
the NBA?
I'm done with it. I'm done.
Like, is it really that? I mean, it's cool that he's playing with his father, but can you agree that the only reason why he's in the NBA is because of his father?
I wouldn't say the only, but about 90%. Yes.
I mean, like, do you really think he's NBA material?
No. Well, he's not superstar material. Do I think he's the worst player in the league? No. But do I think he should be in the league? No. Especially not in the Lakers. Like, all that was just LeBron being LeBron and controlling the narrative. That's it. Which, I mean, hey, it is what it is. The NBA is a joke anyway. So let's just.
Oh man, yes it is. I don't even feel like I want to watch it anymore. It's so boring.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's boring, but
I don't know about you. As a Sixers fan, I wanted to talk about that too. Friggin' them sitting out Joel Embiid and Paul George because they want to preserve them. Joel Embiid went at a columnist last night in Philadelphia locker room.
Yo, he
because
went
brought up his-
crazy.
Yeah, man. I didn't see the video. Did you see it?
I saw the part where he said I'd done too much for the city to be putting
Yeah,
up with this BS.
What do you think about that?
If that's your case, get out there and play.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it. If you feel that strongly about it, prove us wrong. Until then, you're getting paid more than anybody on this platform to do a job, and you haven't showed up.
Yeah.
The only person that showed up was Maxey.
Yeah, I know. Like, how does Maxey feel? He got to get out there and grind every night, be losing, and they preserving Embiid. Like, bro, are
You know what's
serious?
crazy? Maxey gonna be like Shea Gildress. He's gonna go to another team and be the number one player of that team. Keep his max contract. He's gonna go to another team, and Sixers gonna be mad that they lost him.
Dang, that sucks.
Guaranteed.
That brought my morale down.
Guaranteed. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks because the Sixers are so promising. They made all these deals and everything. They haven't played. Has Paul George played?
Nope.
That's what's it? 10 games? 8 games?
Yeah, they're 1-6. We're like 7 games in.
7 games. 1-6, and just be like, still, we're not gonna play. And that's a joke about the NBA. They're gonna make the playoffs. They can start off 1-6. They can start off 1-15. They'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's why the joke about the NBA. On the good side about the NBA, you seen LaMelo Ball?
No, what's happening with him?
Man, that boy is hooping.
In Charlotte?
Hooping. Yeah. Hooping.
I didn't know that.
And it's crazy because, I think because his brother went to UCLA and all this, like, LaMelo is hooping. If he didn't have the name Ball, I think he would get a lot more attention. But I think people like Bronny, they're tired of the balls. So they're just like, I don't care nothing about him. But he's been putting up some points. 30 points, I think he got against Boston. 31 or something like that against Boston. Yeah, he been hooping from point guard position, doing well. I will say top 5 point guards in the league right now, definitely.
Wow.
Especially with
What
Curry
happened to
out.
his brother? What happened to his brother?
Still hurt.
I said I haven't heard nothing from him for like years.
I can't remember who he plays with now. Washington.
Yeah, I thought
think?
maybe. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I can't remember who he plays for.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so Man, I wanted to talk. So we'll just do real quick. So Chief results come out next week.
Oh, he's
early
with the
release.
Bulls. He's with the Bulls.
Oh, the Bulls.
Lonzo.
Chiefs
Yeah.
results. So shout out to all the
That's right.
Seers out there. Good luck. If you're competing for Chief this year, good luck to you all. Guess we'll see who comes out, who gets the bus ride and the champagne. So hopefully we get some good people on the list. Got some folks that I'm rooting for. So hopefully to see that. So we can get to the What the Duck Awards if you like, and then we can close if you like.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let me give you your screen. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we do the What the Duck Award every month. Basically, the What the Duck Award is we give it out to the person or situation that makes you say, what the but instead of saying that, we say what the duck. So this month's award, we have a couple of nominees. I kind of showcased them on the Facebook page. Let's start with Tyreek Stevenson from the Chicago Bears. This was the cornerback who taunted the Washington Commanders fans during the Commanders-Bears game last week because the Bears thought they were going to win until Jaden Daniels performed brilliantly, rolled out a couple of times, threw a Hail Mary pass. Ball was tipped and caught by a Commanders player. So Tyreek Stevenson, a rookie, talking trash to the Commanders fans, and he ate crow. Not only that, because of that, he was benched this week. So that was hilarious. So he was taken out of the starting lineup probably because of that. So that's nominee number one. Nominee number two, let's talk about Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, who's Tony Hinchcliffe, you might ask? Well, apparently he's a comedian. But more than that, he was a comedian that appeared at Donald Trump's rally. During this rally, he called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage, which caused a fury of disappointment and frustration and anger from the Latino community, which include myself, because I love Puerto Rico. Never been there, but Puerto Rico, ho! I don't know if I did that service, but anyway, I love Puerto Rico. Love to visit one day. But for him to say something like that, don't know what the heck he was doing. That caused some issues for President Trump's campaign, obviously, because a lot of Latin superstars, namely, what was his name? Fudge, I can't remember his name. There was one guy that came out on the stage before this happened, and he was a Puerto Rican star. But anyway, he was all for Puerto Rico. And then now that this happened, he pulled back his support for President Trump. Rosie Perez came out and said, "You mess with the wrong people." Jennifer Lopez commented. Anyway, flurry of stuff. And next you have President Trump. Well, disregard. Before we go to President Trump, former President Trump, let's go to President Biden. So President Biden, during one of his comments, he went on air and said, and I quote, he said, he slandered Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage by this comedian. And so President Biden ended up calling Republicans folks who are for President Trump as garbage. So, yeah, interesting, right? So because of that, that caused a backlash for Vice President Harris' campaign, because President Trump, who was our next candidate, appeared before a rally in a garbage truck with an orange vest on, trying to use President Biden's comments against him, saying, and I quote, this is President Trump quoting, "I love Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico loves me." He said it from the garbage truck. And then he said how President Biden, for what he said, is ridiculous. And it's pretty much he was condemning President Biden for what he said. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
Oh yeah.
How are you, former President Trump is criticizing President Biden for that comment, but not the comedian who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. So lots of people that could get it this week. I mean, take your pick. But I'm going to do the first unprecedented decision for What the Duck. I'm going to give it to two situations and people.
Boo.
So, no, it's too hard because they both suck. So, congratulations to Tony Hinchcliffe And actually, I was wrong. It's going to be a three-banger. Tony Hinchcliffe for making a comment about Puerto Rico being a floating island garbage. President Biden for calling Trump supporters as garbage. And for President Trump appearing in a garbage truck, accusing or criticizing President Biden for what he says. So, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. The first time ever on What the Duck Award, we give it to 3 different individuals: Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian, President Biden, and former President Trump. Congratulations. You all get the What the Duck Award. Sorry, there's no award that you can claim or trophy. Just the fact that you all suck.
Yo, I'm surprised you didn't give it to our candidate wasn't Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. What was so great about what did
Rudy
he do?
Gobert got dunked on by Brandon Brown, I think his name is, from the Nuggets. Brandon Brown was all, he grabbed him around the neck, threw him out the way. Russell Westbrook ran up on him. But anyway.
I'm sure he got dunked on many a time, so I ain't too concerned about that one.
Oh, yeah.
But this one was funny, man. Like, for this, the comedian, and you know what's funny? They said President Trump was like, oh, I don't see no big deal. Like, he's like, I had no control. I didn't know he was going to say that. Bro, he was at your rally.
Yeah.
And
He
then
probably was like, say whatever you want to say.
yeah, and then for President Biden to say that, you can't tell me that didn't hurt for folks who were in the middle or folks who may be for President Trump now to go against Vice President Harris. It's like, those are the things you don't do before Election Day.
Right. Well, Election Day coming up. Let me see. Russ ran up on him and gave that deer in the headlight look. He wanted no smoke with Russ. Yeah, for real. Because, Russ crazy. But Unpopular Celebrities, y'all. Another episode. Appreciate y'all for coming on. A lot of presidential talk. I'm sure next time we'll be on, we'll have a new president-elect. That's what it's called, president-elect. We'll have a new president-elect for the next show. So we'll see what that looks like. Good luck to everybody who voted for your candidate to win. But if they don't win, it's all right. You're still American. Still love you. Still support you. Still good people. So have a good week.
Yes. And I echo Pete's thoughts. Thank you for always supporting this page. I don't know if we mentioned it earlier, but we're on a roll to 200 subscribers on YouTube. Our Facebook is good, but we're trying to build up our YouTube. We're almost there, fam.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all, if y'all haven't, get on our page. Check out our shorts. Check out our videos. You can watch the old videos from the Unpopular Celebrities. But subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. So that way is when we come out with a new podcast or a new short or quick video, you will get notified. And our plan is to build our YouTube platform. So you would help us tremendously if you do that. And then last but not least, to Pete's point, yes, we will have a new president likely elect in a couple of days. I would say be safe out there. Be safe.
That's funny. On his closing monologue, it cut off. It ain't cut off the whole time. And then all of a sudden it cuts off. Let me see if he wants to get back on. That's crazy. He just did that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get him back on real quick so he can end the show. That's so funny. Technology, y'all. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let me see. Okay, he read it. Let me see if there he goes. All right. Boom.
Kind of.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, what was I? Oh, yeah. Y'all be safe. Respect each other, whether you voting for the left or the right or not voting. Most important thing is respect everybody's decision. Y'all be good. We all Americans out there, man. We got to take care of each other. So y'all be safe on Election Day, man. We will see y'all in 2 weeks. Pop Celebrities, we love y'all. We out. Peace.
Peace. I got you, Charles. Peace.
Let's eat all.